Yeah. To answer your question, no, I'm not on my Chromebook, Dwayne. Jacked up.
There you go. There's my
uh, good morning. This is our NFL preview show, Week 11 of the National Football League, where they play for pay.
there you go.
Uh, I
We
see
having
we
some
have
technical difficulties, but we're gonna work through it.
yeah. I don't know what's going on. It's probably something with my service. It's been a little jacked up lately. And it's hard. It's hardwired, so it's a little crazy.
That's all right. We're
But
gonna get
I
through it.
see I see that we have we have a visitor this morning.
Right. I got a co-host this morning.
Yeah,
Miss
our
Jasmine.
co-host. Our
Yeah,
co-host.
my girl right there.
Well, Dwayne, I really like that jersey, man. I wish that football team that you have wore that jersey a lot more
A
often.
little wrinkled. I didn't iron it this morning. You know the numbers. You know sometimes you got to hit those numbers, but
It's
it's okay.
it's it's funny. It's funny is that that's a Ezekiel Elliott jersey, and that's Dion's old number. But the best game that I remember in that jersey is Julius Jones, man. When that game he had in that jersey,
Yes, sir.
you know, he showed that he was from West Virginia in
Yes,
that
he did.
jersey. Yes. Shout out to his brother Thomas, who has turned his NFL career to becoming a very good actor. Thomas Jones, you're on your way, bro. One day, hopefully, I can get you on the show
Down in the
because
valley where the girlies get naked.
yeah, because you'll be a great interview, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
down in the
but
valley, P
but
Valley,
we got Week 11 in the National Football League, sir,
in the league where they play for pay.
for pay.
Let's get it started, man. First
First
off,
game. Oh,
one
who you got
o'clock.
first? You could do the schedule, Wayne. Good.
1 o'clock. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Cleveland Browns.
Um, being that I live in the northeastern part of Pennsylvania, I did a lot of traveling this week down in that area where I was listening to Mike Missinelli, watch him on TV, listen to the Fanatic. Um, the Eagles are coming out of the seams. The Browns may have them. I just don't know which Baker Mayfield we're gonna have. But if we have the Baker Mayfield that throws the ball 15 to 25 times a game, and they keep running those running backs, I just don't think the Eagles will be able to beat them. One thing I noticed last week with the Eagles, which was strange to me, but it made you put a smile on your face because we talked about the player, is that the Eagles with their great Fletcher Cox couldn't stop the Giants' run. The Giants was running right down their throat. So I think that knowing that we know the offensive line coach of the Browns and how he likes to do, he's going to run that football. He sees something on film, he's going to do the zone blocking scheme. He's going to run. He's going to run them counters. So I just don't see the Eagles beating the Browns this week. I just don't see it.
Listen, you know what? I think the Eagles going to do it this week because I just don't trust Baker Mayfield. I don't trust him. um, Not sure if Miles Garrett. I know he was in some type of protocol, but I think he is a go for today. That would scare me against that Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. But the Browns, they're just such an enigma, man. They got so much explosiveness on offense. They got Chubb back. They got Kareem Hunt. Of course they don't have OBJ, but they still have um
Juice is still
Juice
there.
is still there. You still got Donovan People Jones. You still got Njoku at tight end. There's weapons there. And they got a good defense, man. But it's all on number six, man. It's all on Baker. But I think eventually Carson Wentz is gonna play well. I mean, he's played terrible in every game this year. I think he's eventually gonna put it all together. I think this may be the week. And I like the Eagles on the road because I need the Eagles or the Giants to win this NFC East.
Yeah, he hasn't. What's interesting about Carson Wentz, and I think me and you, because of where we live at and the way we've been moving around this season, we've probably watched more Eagle games than we've ever watched.
Mhm.
And I just, for some reason, Dwayne, he hasn't played a whole game all year. It's been a
Yeah.
great half, or a bad game. So um, we look for a big game, a big, a big game out of Carson Wentz. Hopefully, one of these days. I see we got a fan says the cow bees suck. someone from YouTube. I don't know who you are, but I thanks for joining the show, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
we
you.
love
You
and
know,
we
me,
love all the Cowboys love,
yeah, yeah.
even when it's haters love, because
Even though we do the show every week, we're both Cowboy fans and we're not biased. So
right, and
I
then
appreciate you,
you
Kevin.
spending your
Kevin, for
Sunday
joining the
morning,
show.
you're spending your Sunday morning worried about a 2-7 team. So what does that say for you?
Moving right along, but thanks for joining the show.
Yeah,
Tell a friend
thank
and
you.
tell a friend.
We take it all. We take it all. That's okay. All right, next up, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Washington Football Team.
I'm going all
Again,
Washington football team. Washington football team. I just need them to win. I need them to continue being who they are. Ron Rivera, one coach in the conference who's got to the Super Bowl. He understands in the league in the division who's got to the Super Bowl. He understands how to win. Ball control football. Don't turn the ball over. Alex Smith had a terrible game last week. I don't see him throwing. He's never been a big interception guy. Back to back to back to back. This guy has single digit interceptions multiple years, so I don't see that happening again. I think he gets more into the offense, and the Washington football team, I believe, will get the win. Kevin said Kevin's going to work with us. Good, Kevin. We appreciate that. Even though you're in the chat, you're part of the show. He said the Bengals. Kevin said the Bengals.
The illustrious host of this show and many other shows on this platform called me out this week, y'all. He called me out for being soft. He says, in my older age, I'm getting soft. But let me explain myself to you all. I can't watch Alex Smith play football, man. I'm scared for this man. He had that horrific leg injury, man. And every time he drops back, I yell, get rid of it. Every time he drops back, man, because I don't want to see this man get hurt. But with that said, at home,
Tyler Cage said the Patriots winning today. We're gonna get to the Patriots. We go through all the teams, fellas. I don't know you guys, but I'm glad you guys are joining us. That's a good thing. The algorithm is definitely spreading. I'm glad you guys joined us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely.
We do sports shows every Sunday, and we got a couple. I'm interviewing another sports show at 3:00 this evening.
Make sure you tune in for that.
As well as we do some other shows, and I'm glad you guys could join us, man. Make sure you subscribe. We like you guys to be part of the show, man. It's interesting. Dwayne, I got this guy named Tyler. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate the subscription, man.
Thanks, Tyler.
And Kevin Harvick. He said, what do you guys think about? We just gonna skip because Dwayne, he got a question for us, man.
All right, well, let me just say this real quick before we get to this gentleman's question. I like the football team today over the Bengals. Let's get to the question because I love that.
He said, what do you guys think about Tyson Hill starting for the Saints?
You broke up on me. You broke up on me, Q. What do you think of? That's a very good question, and it's right on time because that was our next game to cover, Falcons Saints. I think, and I want to be very careful when I speak about this because they're all pros, man. They're all pros, and they get to play the game that we all wish we could play as we were kids. Taysom Hill, he reminds me of, and I can't, and forgive me because I can't remember his name. I was a young boy, but he played for the Dolphins, and he was like a jack of all trades but a master of none.
Jensen.
Yes, and I feel the same.
Number 11, Jensen.
I feel the same way about Taysom Hill. I think he's a jack of all trades, but I think he's a master of none. I think he's going to get exposed today for not being a good every down quarterback. He has a lot of Tebow in him. And we saw how Tim Tebow was when he got a chance to be an every down quarterback. It didn't work out, man. I get it. Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions last year, but he also threw 30 touchdowns. And you're paying Jameis Winston a lot of money to be Drew Brees' backup. I'm just very shocked that they didn't go with Jameis Winston today. But hey, man, we'll see what Taysom Hill is. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But I don't like that decision by Sean Payton.
I think the Falcons get them. I think the Falcons actually going to blow them out, which is interesting. I say that. I think that the Saints are going to struggle first couple possessions, and the Falcons might go up 14-0. I think we may see Jameis Winston. Tyson starting Hill is interesting because they did overpay him during the offseason, and it's kind of crazy that the coach will want to do this. You know, Sean Payton, he gets a lot of credit. And I would never say that a guy in the NFL couldn't coach definitely a Super Bowl champion, but I believe Sean Payton's a little overrated in some issues.
Okay.
He's lost a lot of big games. If you look at Sean Payton, he definitely has a great mind. I mean, I like Sean Payton,
I love him.
but when you look at the grand scheme of things, the last 15 years they've had a prolific offense, and then they lose a lot of big games going down the stretch. Drew Brees hasn't finished the season the last couple seasons towards the end, and I just think the Saints have basically shot their load. I think they lose today, and I think that
Okay.
the Tyson Hill experiment it doesn't look good for at least the first three series, and you may see Jameis on the field.
I didn't get that. The last part of it was a little garbled, but that's okay. We worked through it. I like the Saints today, and the reason I like the Saints today is I think Jameis Winston. I think Jameis is going to come in the fourth quarter, and he's going to win the game for them today. So yeah, Tyler, you're 100% right about those Falcons, man. Like, yeah, that's why they had to get rid of Quinn. But I think Raheem Morris has settled the ship down. I think Raheem Morris is doing a great job for his interview, man. Like, this is the greatest interview he's ever gonna have, and I hope he
It,
gets a
it,
real
it,
shot to stick.
it's funny when you look at the Falcons because you know, Arthur Blank said his crazy statement about Raheem when he first made him the interim coach. But then he allowed Raheem Morris to find Tack McKinley. Then the following week after they won, he allowed Raheem Morris and the staff to cut Tack McKinley. And it's just amazing how Raheem is basically taking control of that job. I believe if they get Raheem a good personnel guy in there, which Thomas Dimitrov was, but if you get him a good personnel guy, they might could win. They might could turn that franchise around. The Falcons, if you just notice them and you follow them, they just cannot get their defense together. They hit if they draft a player on offense, know that player is going to be good. But if they draft a player on defense, their assessment of defensive players have just been terrible over the years. I mean, Vic Beasley basically is out the league now. He was just cut by the Titans, and it's like, what happened? But I think the Falcons will get them today. Kevin said the Falcons haven't proven themselves yet. You're right.
You're
As a
right.
franchise, they haven't. They
You're right.
the last 5-6 years, even that Super Bowl, they just still haven't recovered.
And I see that you're a big Kevin Harvick fan. I like that. You know, I was a big Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan, and now I'm in need of a new person to support. I still haven't figured it out yet. I mean, it's easy for me to say Bubba. I could go with Bubba, but I don't want it just to be that. But I like Austin Dillon too, Kevin Harvick fan. '04. I like Austin Dillon too. See, we do it all. It ain't just about football. We give you that NASCAR too. Okay, we do it all. All right. So next 1 o'clock game, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. It's the Steelers going to Jacksonville, and I think the Steelers will easily move to 10-0.
Spread is 10.5. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna cover this week?
They cover easily.
Yeah. I mean, even ESPN finally gave the coach some credit with his speech when they asked him. But anybody that been watching the Steelers, man, Mike Tomlin don't need to make a speech in the 2020 season, in the middle of the season, to talk about Jacksonville Jaguars. For understand that regardless if you like Mike Tomlin or not, the Steelers players love him and they play hard for him. They were on their fourth quarterback last year, and I'm telling you, them fighting last year rolled over to them having a good season this year. It meant a lot last year that the coach rallied them guys around them, and you see it this year. And their defense, I'm not saying their defense is a 70s defense, but the Steelers' defense this year is fast and good. Fast and good. They will give up a big play here and there. They may lapse, but they're fast and good. And it's funny that because of the 7-on-7 football, this might be one of the best defenses that we could get the way football is nowadays.
Big shout out in this Steelers game is a kid that I'm really proud of. I watched his whole college career. Number 41, Robert Spillane. He was a member of that 2016 Western Michigan Broncos team that went to the Cotton Bowl with Union's own 3-2 Jamari Bogan. And he's been balling, man. He's got a chance with the unfortunate injury of Devin Bush. to really show what he is. And then once again, man, it's about system too, y'all. It's about culture. It's about system, and just the Steelers just do it right, man. They get the right people to fit what they want to do, and they get it done. But enough about that game because I think they moved to 10-0. So next game, and I think somebody asked for this a little bit earlier. You said it's Patriots at Texans. Um, this was the hardest game for me to look at this week, honestly. I am a Deshaun Watson fan. I just feel like this organization hasn't done anything for him, put anything around him. They got rid of D Hop. We all know the story. Um,
Kevin said
Patriots.
if the Steelers easy, the Jaguars win. Every player on their team should get free dinner from Doug Marone.
That's a good one. I like that. Uh, but Cam Newton. I don't know, man.
Hey Kevin, hold up, Kevin.
I'm gonna go with the
You just
Patriots.
Oh, that was Tyler. My bad, Kevin. You said the Texans. Now it was Tyler that said the Pats. Yeah, I think the this Tyler said the Pats. Kevin said the Texans.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a tricky game. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get out of the Pats offense. I think the COVID really might have weakened Cam Newton for a couple weeks. You've seen him. He just looked as sluggish. Didn't have the energy. You're right, Tyler. Belichick do own Houston. Like he got ownership papers down there, and I don't know when it's like you're going against Romeo, and y'all know Romeo's gonna be bland as hell. Romeo's like watching wet paint dry. The way he coaches. I just can't trust the Texans. We talk about it every week. The Texans organization is in trouble. They don't have a pick next. They don't have their first round pick next year because it's Houston, it's Miami's, and it's just I
That
don't see
Thompson
nothing.
trade.
And now
That
you got
Thompson trade.
Hopkins showing off every game on prime time, and it's really making their organization look bad. I mean, I don't know what the McNair family's going to do, but they need to hire a real football guy as a GM and do
They need
something.
Will McClay, man. They need Will McClay.
So I got to take the Pats. I'm gonna act like I didn't hear you just now, Dwayne.
It's okay. Drink your tea. Next 1 o'clock game, we got it's a good one, I think. You got the Detroit Lions at the Carolina Panthers. I know the Panthers have lost 5 straight, but they play hard, man. They play hard. They end every game. As everyone knows, since the beginning of the season, everyone knows I'm a big Matt Rule guy. I love the guy. I love the culture. And I'm gonna go with Matt Rule today because I can't stand Matt Patricia. So that's it. That's my rationale. You may not understand it, but I'm going Panthers today.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm gonna take the Panthers too. I think they just Detroit on the road. I just can't trust Matt Patricia with nothing. He can't hold them together. I'm glad you just said that, Kevin. Kevin, I'm glad you just said what you just said. You're right. O'Brien did ruin the Texans, but when I put your next statement up, Dwayne is gonna smile. Me and Dwayne is from that area where this kid is from. So you'll like this. We think the Panthers is gonna be good too.
Hey, listen,
We both like Matt Rule, the quarterback from the Panthers, PJ Walker. We're from the same area where he's from, so basically the
listen.
same area. So
I've been watching.
Dwayne, Dwayne
Listen,
Dwayne. Let these guys know what you used to do,
listen.
coaching wise.
I competed against PJ Walker. I've been watching this young man play football since he was 8, 9 years old. He's from Elizabeth, New Jersey. We're from Union, Vauxhall, New Jersey. I was a youth football coach for years in Union and went against PJ Walker, saw his whole high school career, followed him at Temple, followed him in the XFL. I love this kid. And I'm glad that he has a chance in this league. I think he's a very good, decent backup quarterback, as you said, Kevin Harvick fan. And I love PJ, man. Um, that's not the reason I'm picking the Panthers. I'm picking it more because I love his former college coach Matt Rule, and I love the culture he's developing. As everybody knows, I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan. He is the one that I wanted to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But yeah, big PJ Walker fan. Even though he played for our biggest rival, man, Union High School, Elizabeth High School, is something, man. Wow, he's out of that game today, huh? Wow, okay.
And he only plays great when he going against Mike Evans anyway. Marshawn Lattimore goes crazy when he plays against Evans. He steps it up.
That's big
But,
though, because you got Julio on that team, man. So
yeah,
that's big. And let's be honest, man. Malcolm Jenkins has not been playing the best this year. It may be time for him to just get on his political whatever he wants to do with his future endeavors. But yeah, we're gonna move along. We both like the Panthers, right? So the next and last 1 o'clock game, it's gonna be, hey, hide the women and children, hide the good China, because this is going to be a backyard brawl, y'all.
Oh, I didn't even realize that game.
Oh, yes, sir. Tennessee versus Baltimore.
Woo.
Hey.
Woo.
Woo. It's going to be
it's funny. It's funny when we talk about Tennessee and Baltimore. I know that Kevin and Tyler seem to be about the same age as me and you, or a little bit younger. But for those that may be watching the show or anybody else, just Google that hit when Ray Lewis hit Eddie George, and you'll understand this rivalry is serious. This rivalry has always been interesting.
Very good players in this rivalry. The late great Steve Ed McNair, Eddie George going against Ray Lew and Ed Reed and Shannon Sharp. At the end of his career, man, it's always been a banger when these two teams battle, man. So,
I'm gonna have to take Tyler, you said it right. Both teams are coming off disappointing losses. Kevin said Baltimore. I'm gonna take Baltimore too, Dwayne. Clowney not being there hurts them a little bit. And I just think that Baltimore, they need to get back to, and I know that offensive line is not the way it was last year, but Baltimore needs to really get back to what they do best. They just not the same team from last year. I think they've been a little exposed, and I think they've been trying to open up the offense a little too much. They need to hone in on them little 10, 11 plays they had. Is what you call it playing? What's the kid? What's the kid from what's the kid, the Heisman Trophy winner? Is he playing, Dwayne, for Baltimore today?
Who?
Ingram?
Yeah. I think he is. But y'all gotta excuse me. Tyler, Kevin Harvick fan 04. It's that Sunday morning. It's that time of Sunday morning, man, when they put Kay Adams on NFL Network.
He's looking at Kay Adams on NFL Network, y'all.
I get a little distracted. Y'all apologize.
She's a very interesting young lady. So Dwayne,
I'm a big Kay Adams fan. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Probably young enough to be my daughter. If you want to call me an old, dirty old man, that's fine too. But she's a grown-up. All right. I digress. I like the Titans today. I like Mike Vrabel. I think off that terrible performance last week, I think he's going to have these guys raring and ready to go. I think you're going to see a lot of Henry today. Tannehill makes just enough plays. Corey Davis, again, that's another Western Michigan Bronco. And, he lost his brother last week. And, that's tough when you go back out there and try to play a game when you lose a loved one. But I think he bounces back this week. I think Corey Davis has a big game today. And I like Tennessee to go in there and win in Baltimore.
Yeah, good assessment, Tyler. I agree with you too. The thing is, Lamar Jackson is starting to be figured out.
I agree.
I mean, in the NFL, man, you get them defensive coordinators. They get paid too. You get them some time to break down film, look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, and really, they'll play you with, if you don't got a strong arm and you can't throw it out. They'll make sure that all the daggone DBs is giving you outside leverage and basically forcing you to throw it out. And if you can't throw it out, it's not going to happen. They did it to the best of us, man. Absolutely. Even the great Peyton Manning, after he came back, if we look at that last 2 years of Denver, Peyton Manning might have been the best quarterback we ever seen. But the last year in Denver, them defensive coordinators knew that his arm strength was shot, and basically they won that Super Bowl because the defense was so good and he was able to just manage a game. So we definitely agree with you. Right, what's the next game, Dwayne? 4 o'clock games.
We're moving on to 4 o'clock, and at 4:05, you have the winless New York Jets playing the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 2-7. Joe Flacco starting, and just a little bit of Joe Flacco tidbit for you all. In the last 14 games he started, he's 2-12. Make that 2-13 in 15 games.
I mean, when we talk about the Jets, all I can say is what you told me. The facilities are immaculate.
Immaculate. I've been in Atlantic Health Training Center for some youth football clinics and stuff, and it got the grand tour of that place. That place is immaculate. I love it. Florham Park, New Jersey. Justin Herbert. That's all I'm gonna say. He's gonna slice and dice the Jets defense today. So we're gonna go with the Chargers. I agree with you, Kevin Harvick fan, and we're gonna go with the Chargers today. I like that. I like that big. Best bet of the day.
Yeah, Chargers, your best bet of the day. He goes crazy today. He might even throw 5 touchdowns on the Jets. Yeah, the Jets probably will go 0-16. I mean, a lot of people don't think that they will, but the Jets. I don't think the Jets are favorite for no more games. According to the Letter Network, saying they're favorite for any games the rest of the year. It's really just sad. If you look at their organization, the Jets have one of the most loyalist fan bases around. I know Fire Guy, whatever his name is, him and his
Fighter Ed.
Yeah, Ed and his brother get a lot of credit, but you'd be amazed, man. The Jets fans got some very, very loyal fans.
Very loyal, and they're down for the team. Very loyal, man. Stat of the day. I love stats of the day. Wow.
Interesting, right?
And Tyler, I think who we talking about on that? We talking about the Chargers, right?
Yeah, they did them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So our next 405 is the team. Yeah, Chargers. That's what I thought. Thank you for that, man. Keep hitting us with the tidbits. We loving the feedback from Tyler and Kevin Harvick fan this morning. We love it, man. More people join in, man. We're gonna give you this platform. It's your platform. Next 405 is the Dolphins and the Broncos. And I'm not gonna waste y'all time. I'm a Cowboy fan. Everybody knows it. But I've adopted the Miami Dolphins as my other team for this year. I love Brian Flores. I love the culture. Tua is 3-0 as a starter, and I think he moves to 4-0 as a starter. I like the Dolphins big against the Broncos.
I know that when we did our preseason show, Dwayne, me and you both had like Dolphins coming this year. And I'll just say for a Dolphins fan or anybody in the AFC East that likes any team, the Dolphins is coming and they coming fast. Anybody that watches Tua understand that Tua is doing the exact same thing he did in Alabama. He does not turn the football over. This is key. I always try to say, what type of quarterback would you have? Would you rather have a gunslinger or a guy that just manages the game and a guy that don't turn the football over? And I just don't like guys that turn the football over. I'm one of them guys that I want a quarterback who protects the football. I don't need you to take a bunch of crazy chances. Just do not turn that football over.
It's like we're aging ourselves a little bit, but it was like the whole argument in the 90s. Would you rather have Brett Favre or Troy Aikman? I wanted Troy Aikman. You know what I mean? He wasn't going to throw for 500 yards. You know, he was going to manage the game. He was going to make his big throws. And in the playoffs, as long as it wasn't raining or snowing, because we know he hated throwing a wet ball. But that's the type of quarterback that I want, man. I think sometimes they put the unfair label out there, game manager.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they all? Don't they all manage the game? But yeah, so
look at the stat that Tyler just came up with. I'm telling you that, and that's Tua. If you know Tua from Alabama, that's what he did. And Flores, y'all know what he's gonna do. He's gonna run. He's gonna play solid defense. They're gonna throw a trick play in there, here and there. He's gonna allow Tua to make the easy throws. He's old school. He's the one that's from the Belichick tree that may be the most successful, but they're gonna play close to the vest, and it just goes to show that last year when you clean out the culture and you had veterans, me and Dwayne say it every week, you had veterans on that Miami team begging not to be traded because they seen that Flores was really changing the culture of the team. So
hey, listen, if you're trying to get in touch with us, just do it in the chat. Somebody just tried to call us. Just do it in the chat. man. We'll communicate with you right there. It's hard for us to take calls right now during the midst of the show, but do it in the chat. We listen. You see, we're enjoying it with Kevin Harvick fan and Tyler. We just love the interaction that we're getting, but we just ask that you do it in the chat. Okay. The next 425. Well, let's save the big one for last.
Yeah,
Let's.
yeah, Tyler. What it is, Tyler? We have a chat with a bunch of friends that we all grew up with, and we invite them on the show. One of our brothers is coming on the show now. He's a diehard Giant fan, knows his football, has a good pulse of his Giant team, as well as the NFL. So I'm gonna bring him in now.
Okay. What's up, Creek?
What's
What's
going
up?
on, Creek?
Hey, by the way, I'm not really a Giants fan.
Oh, my bad. I
I,
apologize. I thought you was a Giant fan all these years.
but I said, no, just I mean, I rooted from growing up, but through my work, I've become cool with a lot of teams, and I play so much fantasy, I can't have allegiance to nobody. So,
Oh boy.
like, if the Giants lose, I'm not upset like Dwayne is if Michigan or the
No, no,
Cowboys
no.
lose.
But
I
just,
don't care.
just, just say you're not upset as your brother.
Oh yeah, now my brother, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
You had to
but
bring up. You had to
but
bring up
Tyler, but
what we
Tyler
did.
and Kevin, this is a good friend of ours that we all grew up in the same town basically, and we're all big football fans. And
Yeah, and they had to
Creek
bring up.
Creek Creek does a lot of work with NFL teams as well as
Yeah,
youth
youth
football.
football,
Creek,
all of it.
explain to we got two guys in the chat that's really active on our show today. Kevin and Tyler. Explain to them what you guys are doing with the you and Anthony with the dream thing.
Oh, okay, so we are basically the marketing service, and we promote and we give these high school kids the opportunity to get exposure to different colleges and in all sports really. But our concentration is well, mine is football, basketball, wrestling, track, lacrosse. Um, I don't know what Anthony's is. Probably mainly just football, but we try to get involved and find opportunities for them, but we also help them with the realization. Like a lot of kids, I mean, everybody's dream is to go D1. We'll tell you. Well, we're supposed to tell you. You know, maybe you're not a D1 guy, but here's where you should go. And we help place them. And get them money and more importantly, um, give them an education. You know what I mean? That and getting them to pay as little as possible. Now, the biggest thing with our service though is there's a ACT and SAT preparation. There's all kinds of guidance. We tell them how to get scholarships. Um, we're big on education first. Education first is the biggest thing, and that's what I liked about it.
Tyler, trust me, man. There's nothing wrong with playing D3 football. And
No.
listen, man, myself and these two gentlemen, I would actually defer to 99% of the time, definitely when it comes to knowing the college football landscape and the high school landscape. I'm just getting back into it myself. I used to be more of a high school basketball fan more than anything. But these guys know they're in the know. They know Dwayne and Creek. Like I said, we're from New Jersey, so they know what's going on with the landscape of New Jersey, the political football landscape of what's going on with high school sports. And I'm glad you guys could join us this week, Tyler and Kevin.
And
Uh,
that's the funny thing. Unfortunately, a lot of sports are very political. So, in high school, it's just what it is. So that's another thing that I think is great about us. We give some of those people the other opportunities because I mean, there's so many people that fall by the wayside. So that's what we're about. But yeah, thank you for letting me mention that.
All right.
We gonna let Creek- we gonna let-
Tyler said he's from upstate New York.
Oh,
Okay.
Creek,
And
we gonna let you run through the games
Kevin's
real
from
quick.
Kevin is from East Tennessee.
Wonderful. Creek, we're gonna let you run through the games real quick because we already did that. So we're gonna let you
Oh,
get
okay. Yeah.
Eagles, Browns.
Browns.
Okay. Cincinnati, Washington football team.
I'm gonna go with Burrow.
Okay. Falcons, Saints.
I'm gonna go with my man Raheem on this one. I don't know. I don't know if Taysom. I don't know what Taysom gonna look like under center. So
I'm glad you said that because we had a little discussion about that.
yeah, I don't know why they're not going with Jameis, but whatever.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Has he ever taken a shot? Has he ever taken the ball from under center? Or it's always in shotgun.
I've only seen him in shotgun.
Yeah, I've only seen him in shotgun too.
Mm.
Yeah,
Good point.
that's good. That's something to watch out for. You're right.
Mm.
Steelers, Jags. I think I already know what you're gonna say there. All right, another one we had a little problem with Creek. Patriots, Texans.
Well, you know what? The Patriots they came out there and beat the Ravens last week, which was shocking. But I, I'm I'm gonna go with the Texans still. It's hard to bet against Belichick, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Texans.
Sounds good. So we got Lions, Panthers.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Yeah, I like the Panthers today too. I do.
McCaffrey's playing, right?
I think he's still out.
He's out.
Oh,
still out.
I'm gonna still go with them.
All right. The big one today is Tennessee and Baltimore, both coming off losses.
Man, I don't know what's going on with Baltimore as of late. That's a tough one because I thought Tennessee should have won last week, but
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go with Baltimore. I'm gonna see. I think Baltimore's gonna bounce back.
All right. Jets, Chargers.
Chargers.
Dolphins, Broncos.
Well, I was torn on that one because I had the Broncos is my fantasy defense, but my boy Tua don't turn the ball over, so
That's what we were talking about earlier.
and I know Locke was questionable, but you know what? Let's go with the Dolphins today. They quietly doing some things, so let's go with the Dolphins. I think they're better than people realize.
Yeah. Okay, so that gets us caught up, and so now we got two more 425 games. We'll go with the one. We'll go with Cowboys going to the Vikings.
Who on the center for y'all? Is the Red Rifle back?
Red Rifle back.
Please don't call him that, please. He hasn't been the Red Rifle since college.
Andy Dalton is back.
You know what? You one of the biggest loyal Cowboy fans I know, and you don't love y'all defense. So I'm gonna go with that running game of the Vikings.
All right. Well, let me just say this. Michael Irvin, he got his little fake dog champ. I got a real dog, Jazzy. And she's my support dog for today. Dalvin Cook will set the NFL single game rushing record against my beleaguered Dallas Cowboys defense today. Yeah. I like the Vikings to win their fourth in a row and even their record at 5-5. I like the Vikings with Dalvin Cook beating my beloved Dallas Cowboys today.
Yeah.
It's crazy because one of the hardest things for some people to do, we can talk football, but it's hard to go against your team when you really like your team. I in my right mind cannot go for my Cowboys this week. I just don't see us being able to control their skill position players. I'm not really as focused as Dwayne would be on Dalvin Cook. I know he's special, um, but it's one player that will just absolutely destroy Dallas. I think if they throw to him, and it's Kyle Rudolph. I mean, what he did to us last year when we had the 11th ranked defense was something. I just don't think we'll be able to contain him. I think Jefferson may have a breakout game against us. I just don't think Dallas could beat them. For most Cowboy fans, we're going against one of our coaches who we loved.
Mhm.
Zimmer is not going to allow that team to come up to Minnesota and beat them. I will be shocked. Me and Dwayne will watch the game while we're on the phone and talk about the game. We're not going to root against Dallas during the game. We're going to be
Ever.
happy if Dallas get a first down, a good play, whatever. But having this show, I just can't see the Dallas Cowboys beating them. I just can't see it. Not with them. Not with that roster. Not with these players. Not with some of these guys on defense. Number 90, who's running around here overpaid and just talk too much. I just can't see it happening. So we can move on because I could just go on and on about the Dallas Cowboys. But all I can say is we want your draft. We're trading that third pick right now for your draft. So
Hey, if you
when I
want to
say
come
the
up and
Dallas
get Zach
Cowboys is on the
Wilson,
clock, y'all,
you want to come up and get Zach Wilson, call Dallas, man.
yeah,
Super
call
baby
Dallas.
draft.
We trading down, so just come on now.
Give us your draft. We want seconds and thirds and the number
Yeah.
one next year too.
Second, we want your draft. At least 6 players we want for that one pick.
Okay, the 425 national game of the week is the Green Bay Packers going to the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going Colts in this game at home.
I think it's gonna be a pretty good game, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Pack. I don't bet against Aaron Rodgers too much.
I know Tyrone gonna get on me and he gonna say something about my Wolverines struggling with Rutgers last night. Yeah, I saw it, but I'm gonna go
Yeah,
against his
three overtime, man. I'm surprised y'all pull that out.
The Packers. I believe the Packers are a good football team. I just think the Colts have something different going on right now. I think the Colts beating Tennessee last week was a huge win for that team. They're very young. I like the defensive tackle for the Colts. Those that don't know, they know. I'm a coach's guy, man. So I love Eberflus, man. I love their defensive coordinator. I love what they're bringing. And if you notice, people can say what they want. I'm not an Eagle fan. But the Eagles ain't been right since Frank Wright left that team, and Frank Wright has built a good team in Indianapolis. And as long as Phillip don't, become Mr. Turnover, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough to beat, and it's gonna be an interesting game. But I got to take the Colts. They at home on that turf, so it's gonna be another, like Tyler said, another quiet 6-3 team.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Sunday night tonight, you got Chiefs going to Las Vegas. The Chiefs have won 14 of their last 15 games. The one loss was to the Raiders in Week 5.
That was the game. That was the first game that I picked all year, where I said that would be an upset special. The Raiders. I don't know about this one. I think the Chiefs are a little mad for that little drive around their stadium, but I also think that the Raiders are mad. I think that Gruden, he's built that team in his mold. Before it was the offensive line dealing with the COVID. Now it's the defensive line. I just think that the Raiders have developed an attitude that they're not going to be punked. And if you don't think it's one thing about the Chiefs are a little soft. I believe that if you hit Kelsey a little bit at the line of scrimmage and chip him with a linebacker here and there, I believe that he gets alligator arms, as well as those receivers. If they can't run that track team on you at every given play, I think that the Raiders can be a little physical with them. So I look for a physical game. Division rivals is always tough. when it's two good teams. So I think the Raiders could squeak this out 24-21.
I'm Chiefs all day.
That's it. That's it, Q. That's the Sunday slate. We'll talk about the Sunday night game at 7. So
yeah. Hey, Tyler and Kevin, man, we do this is our preview show, but we do a review show around 7:30 every night on Sundays, and we talk about the Sunday night game as well as we go over the rest of the games.
I didn't know
Kevin,
that.
yeah, we do another show. Hey, Kevin, I noticed that you said you were from East Tennessee. I got a buddy down there that ran for Congress, Steve Holder. I think he was the 2nd district. He ran for Congress as an independent. But I'm glad, Kevin, you and Tyler could join us, man. And, we appreciate you guys joining the show.
absolutely.
And this is what we do every Sunday. We do a sports football show in the morning, one at night. And today I got an interview with another YouTube show that's called 4G Sports, where they actually get a lot of professional athletes on their program. And very good channel. It's called 4G Sports. One of them is actually based out of Atlanta. Another guy I think is in Arizona. They're all over. They're remote, the hosts of the show. So very interesting show. So I appreciate you guys, Tyler and Kevin, for joining us today, man. We need that chat. That chat helps us have a good show.
Absolutely.
So any surprises today in the NFL? Anything crazy?
No, but I want to say, Q, you picked the Cards last week, huh?
You know what it is? The Cardinals is scary, man. They could win. Look, Deshaun, they could win the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
They could win the Super Bowl. But they could also not go to the playoffs. Because their offense, even though Kyler Murray, when you watch him, he don't get hit. Their offense really ain't start rolling yet.
No, that's true. But I got to ask you guys, on First Take, they was talking the comparison between Kyler and Russ, and who they would start a franchise on. I mean, Kyler's nice, but I mean, I don't think.
I think that the me and Dwayne like to call him what everybody from YouTube call ESPN, one of the letter networks. I think ESPN, their producers be on drugs. I think their producers be a little crazy, and then they get these good analysts who know football to talk crazy. Kyler Murray is so opposite from Russ. Russ can throw in the pocket with a running element. Mm-hmm. Kyler Murray is a runner who just happened to throws.
I like that.
Yeah, Russell is. If you want to compare somebody to Russell Wilson, it should have been Dak Prescott, to believe it or not, because they're built the same. Russell is something different, man. And one thing that me and Dwayne always talk about with Russell is, even though a lot of people don't like him, Pete Carroll protected him the last 2 years. As a coach, Pete Carroll saved his career because Russell was getting sacked too many times. He started wearing, if you notice, he started wearing all this body armor to protect his body because he was getting beat up and he wouldn't be in the league. So the last 2 years, they ran the football with these running backs, ran the football. And then all of a sudden, once they drafted DK Metcalf and he had a great offseason, they realized, hold up, we got receivers now. Let's throw the football downfield. And if you notice, that's what they're doing, and they give you a problem. They give you a problem.
Yeah, and then Carson will be back soon too. So.
Oh yeah, my guys is in the chat. 4G Sports. One is in Atlanta, the OG, and 2 in Arizona, the King and the Doc. Appreciate y'all for joining the show this morning. Yeah, I'm gonna interview these brothers at 3:00, so that's gonna be fun.
Hey, listen, just before we get out of here, just some quick things I saw about Taysom Hill. He's thrown 18 career passes. He's 10 of 18 for 205 yards and an interception, right? In all his career games, he's never thrown the ball more than 3 times in one game. Okay?
He's never thrown what?
He's never thrown the ball more than 3 times in one game. So he's 10 of 18 in his career for 205 yards and interception. This year, he's taken 40 snaps Of those 40 snaps, 35 of them was run plays.
See, I just listen. And Dwayne, I'm glad you came up with the stats that you just seen, but I just don't understand. And y'all can help me. This guy is considered a Hall of Fame coach. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying the coach is not great. But why would he do this? Why would he be starting this guy?
It's not on there.
Because you could start Jameson and still do the Taysom Hill plays. I just don't get it. I just don't get why he would be that cocky, as me and Dwayne would always say, coaches outthink themselves. Why he would be that cocky enough to actually start this guy.
It makes no sense to me. I mean, James threw for 5,000 yards last year.
Because we all know what defense confuses these quarterbacks the most, the younger ones. Just throw a cover 2 out there, he gonna be all messed up. And that's usually what Atlanta play, that cover 2, cover 3 type of thing that Bradley and that defense that all them guys bought from Seattle. But Tyler had a Super Bowl pick going into week 11, Dwayne.
Okay.
He said Chiefs, Seahawks.
As long as the Seahawks are in Seattle, even in COVID, it just seems like they can't play on the road, even in COVID, with no fans.
I tell you, as good as Jamal Adams is, and you said it, Dwayne, their secondary is scarily bad. Whew. Whew. But look, we're going to close the show out, man. Thank you guys in the chat for joining us, man.
Thanks,
and remember, 3 o'clock, man, 4G Sports. We're gonna turn this thing into something different. But thanks for joining the show, man. Y'all have a blessed day, man. Enjoy it, man. Football, family, and faith, as Dwayne always says.
Yes, sir.
I like that. All right.